So good morning, strong hips, back, and core. Welcome to you who are here live, and welcome to you guys with the recording. So strong hips, back, and core. Strong hips, back, and core. We are going to be using a lot of props today as we did on Monday's class. So if you came to Monday's class, we're continuing with that idea. If you didn't come to Monday's class, no worries at all. But I'd love for you to get as many props as you can. And I'm going to actually talk here while you run and get them. A chair or a stool or a wall space will be great. 2 blocks, 3 blocks would be great. If you don't have 3 blocks, get pillows, or that chair will come in handy. You'll have to make do with whatever you have at home, a blanket for sure, or a big towel, and then a strap for sure. So a chair, stool, or a wall, 2, maybe 3 blocks. I know not many people have that, but something that you can use for that, pillows, big pillows, bed pillows, a blanket, and a strap. And yeah, we got a lot of stuff today. So I'm going to just talk for a minute while you run and get it if you haven't gotten it already. We've got our water here, and we were talking beforehand that not only does yoga make our hair look fantastic after we do all these down dogs, someone was saying that their curls just get so set beautifully. So yoga is good for your hair, and it's also good for your sinuses and for your strong hips, back, and core. So let's toast to that. Take a big old slug of your water. And we're going to turn off our phones. And we're going to head over to our mat. So again, lots of props today, and go get them so that you can really enjoy today's session. So what I want to chat about here at the beginning, and we won't go too much into it today, we'll dive into it a little bit more on Friday for those of you who are here on Friday, but this is going to be in and of itself a full class, so please don't feel like you have to be at Monday or Friday. But I do like to build. So today's class is about resonance. So I want us to ponder, what is resonance? What is resonance? So come to sitting up nice and tall, finding a posture that serves you. We've been talking this month about body language, movement. Healthy habit in our inner circle group is movement. This past week, we talked about body language and how we are communicating with people all the time with the way our physical movements are. And then this week, we're talking about our inner communication, listening to our own body, listening to our own symptoms. We talked on Monday about the idea that symptoms translates into failing together. By the time we have a symptom, the communication has been happening for quite a long time. Some people would even say up to 2 years. So when there's an injury occurred, you could rewind 2 years ahead and say, when did this start? This is all different philosophies, but that's one of the things I've read recently. So we want to be turning on this inner communication with ourselves. We want to be noticing these little details in our body. What are we vibrating? What are we energetically putting out? Okay, so that's what we've been talking about this week. This body communication, this body language, internal to out. And last week was out to in. Okay, so here we are. Sitting up nice and tall, gently dropping the eyes, the inner gaze looking inward and downward. And what are you vibrating with today? What are your energy fields today? In other words, how do you emotionally feel? That's our emotion. That's our vibration. Do you feel frustrated? Do you feel excited? Do you feel compassionate? You feel happy? You feel jealous? Right? No judgment, but let's take a minute here and see what our feeling tone is. What is our vibration today on our mat? We don't need it to be a good one. We don't care what it is. We just want to know it. Okay. So for this 1 minute, I want you to see if you can label the exact emotion, the predominant emotion that you're feeling right now. Maybe you feel like you're feeling a few of them, but let's pick the one that feels the most dominant. Okay. What is the emotion you're coming to the mat with? Fatigue, tired, sad, optimistic, hopeful? Now, keeping your eyes closed, the word today is resonance. Resonance, lining up frequencies with the world around us. The image that works for me is this idea that I'm swinging on a swing set, and I have a very steady rhythm. I go up and I swing back and I swing up and I swing back. And then someone's going to come over and push me, and they're going to push me at the same rhythm I'm already going. So it's a nice light push, right? They're not coming in and pushing me harder. They're not changing my vibration, my energy at all. They're syncing up with me. We are resonating with one another, right? This is what we want or seek, most of us in our lives, is resonating with each other. Our friendships, we can swing and sync. Our marriages, we can swing and sync, right? Food that we eat, we can swing and sync. Places we put our money for charity or service that sync up. So where do you resonate, and what resonates with you? We could talk about that in our careers, in our financial health, in our spirituality, in our friendships, in our romantic relationships, in our family relationships, in our charitable work, in our spirituality. I don't know if I said that yet. But how are we resonating with the life that we have built? And the answer to this question is, I don't know what I'm resonating. What am I resonating? And we can look at it internally, or we can look at it outward. Because what's in your world is what you're resonating with. So we get to make tweaks if it's not exactly the way we want it. We can let go of certain patterns. We can let go of certain relationships. We can let go of certain ways of spending our money or our time, so that we are aligned, body, mind, and spirit. Okay? So let's take a minute and just let yourself feel like you're on that swing, and your life, your relationships, your world is syncing up with this rhythm of your swing. Let's take 1 minute here, please. Resonance. And for this final minute, please, we know that the path of yoga leads us to self-realization, leads us to know ourselves. What is the mantra you would like to use today? Remembering the mantra is part of the intentional resonating. I intentionally want myself to be singing on this level. So what is it you're needing from the practice today? What brought you to class? What is out is in, what is in is out. So lining up this resonance. Coming into a 1 or 2 word phrase, please. And when you have it, you have your intention for today. And if you don't, just be here right now is a beautiful mantra. Be here right now. Let's bring our hands into prayer, please. Thumbs against our heart. Gently bow your chin to your chest. Open your eyes. See your fingertips. Remember the promise that you're making. This resonating quality, the internal world and the external world sync up. You're living the life you want to live. Good. All right. And come on back. So again, today's a challenge. I will be openly honest with you about that, but fun. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our strap. If you find sitting up nice and tall challenging, then you can always sit on a pillow or a blanket, but we may not want to because that's the idea. So we're going to take the strap. We're going to find the middle road here for the strap, and we're going to put it on our mat. Our bones that we sit on are called our sits bones. We're going to sit our sits bones right on the strap. Boop. Okay. And we're going to take the strap with our elbows bent, and you don't have to worry too much about how the arm position is. I just want your shoulders to be relaxed. I don't want you to be doing one of these like crazy things with the neck. So all we're going to do is find what we call Dandasana, where the toes and the knees are up and we're sitting up nice and tall. I do find this one of the most challenging yoga poses here. So what's happening? The tops of the thighs are dropping down. You're pushing your sits bones into the strap and you're sitting up nice and tall. Okay, so your alignment is on. If we were to poke at your quadriceps, they'd be nice and engaged, very strong here. Feel yourself pressing those sits bones down as you're sitting up nice and tall. You having fun? 5. You got 7 more breaths. Traction out that long spine. Keep feeling the evenness of your sits bones. Your legs are turned on and fired up. Where is this pose predominantly happening? The thighs. The more you can pull those thighs down, the more you're lifting up. 2. Gently release and just forward fold. You can let the legs flail out if you want to. Starting now, if you haven't already, to come into that Samavriti breathing pattern, that equal inhale, equal exhale. Find that calm breath. And here we go. Second round out of 3. Pull up those straps. You can take your hands down as far as you want to. We are watching the pelvis. So how level can we make this pelvis? Crown of head is reaching up. You're turned on here. You are very active. The thighs are really pulling down and you're lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. Balancing out the external world with the internal world, working it out. 4. You can feel yourself wanting to quit. You can feel yourself wanting to cheat. You can feel yourself wanting to dig in. Feel yourself. What are you resonating? What is this rhythm of your swing? Stay with it. 2 more breaths. One more. And release. So part of what happens here in our resonating quality is that life gives us bumps and it throws us off, right? If some bully comes over to the swing set and pushes us, our entire rhythm goes off, right? Or if the chain of the swing changes and we drop a little bit, it changes us. So external forces can change that internal rhythm and vice versa. So being aware. Last round here. That's why Patanjali tells us that when we see someone who is friendly, someone who is loving, we become friends with them. We want to be friends with people who are happy. If someone is miserable, we give them compassion. If someone is successful, we are happy for them. We send goodwill. And if someone is sinful or evil or toxic and negative, we are indifferent. So these are ways that we can keep our own resonance and align with truly what is happening around us. Again, if someone's life is really happy, try to be their friend. If someone is doing really well and they're successful, instead of feeling jealous, be happy for them. It's proof that you can be successful too. If someone is miserable, send them compassion. If someone is toxic or negative or evil or sinful, we are indifferent. We're not opposing them because that syncs up with their resonance. We are indifferent and it moves us in a different direction, but keeps us on our rhythm. So it helps to think about that. But today we're setting our own rhythm. We're setting our own rhythm. We're noticing. 2 more deep breaths. All righty, beautiful. All right, we're going to come over here into hands and knees. We're going to use the strap in the moment. So have it nearby. The chair is nearby. Again, we're going to need a chair. So if you don't have a chair, you're going to need a stool or a wall space, okay? So spreading your fingers, equal space between each and every finger. Just start to move your body. Now you can feel all this space around you in the room that you're in. You've got all this space from you to the ceiling, this space from you to the floor, this space from you to the left, this space from you to the right. Feel yourself moving in this space. What's your body say today? You've got a whole minute to do anything you want. When you're ready, there's no rush at all. When you are ready, let's take our curled toes under and launch ourselves up to Ara Mukashvanasana. This is our downward facing dog, our home base pose. Remembering we can be yogis and never, ever even get on a yoga mat. Yoga is not about being in these poses. This is one aspect to yoga. This deep inner work, this knowing oneself, this seeing how we show up. That's yoga. So just watch. Watch the way your ankles feel. Watch the way you react. Beautiful. When you're ready, please come on back down to hands and knees. Okay, so the same way that we were sitting on that strap with the sits bones pushing down, let's pretend that we still have the strap there. We're in our tabletop and we want to feel that line on our sits bones. We want the sits bones to be sitting on the imaginary strap. Okay, now keep those sits bones level here, but we're going to shoot that left leg back. So if we are still pushing the sits bones equally into the strap, that means the pelvis has to stay level. On the exhale, left knee to elbow and push. And 4. And 3. And 2. Keep the line of the pelvis. And 1. And knees down. Feel the strap on those sits bones and push up against it again. Even Steven here. Who are you? How do you come across? What's your rhythm? What do people feel when they're around you? What do you feel when you're inside of you? Just keep looking. All right, come on back down, please. We're going to go back to the same leg. So feel like you're pushing on that imaginary strap again. Take that left leg up again. Feel yourself pushing evenly. And then very challenging, we're going to dip the knee behind the other knee, but we still want to feel like we're squaring it up back here. Kind of impossible to do, by the way, but this is the idea. And push. Dip, knees touch, and push. Dip, knees touch, and 3. Dip, knees touch, and 2. Dip, knees touch, and 1. Bring it up. Level out those sits bones. Genuine authenticity. What is the rhythm of your swing? Up and down and up and down. Beautiful. Come on back, please. Let's sit back on our ankles for a moment. Give our wrists a nice little break. Take those hands out. Roll those palms out. And circle into prayer. 4 more. Reach out. Circle and up. 3. And 2. Beautiful. And back we go. Right side, please. Take it back. Feel that action here. Feel that action. Actually, let's go to down dog first. Bring your knees down, curl your toes under, and take it up.
Find that down dog, feeling that extension. Let's go 5 breaths. Really feel that lift and that push. Okay, there we go. Now come on back down. We want to make sure we're keeping it level. Right knee to elbow and push. 4, knee to elbow and push. Knee to elbow and push, finding that level pelvis. 2 and push. And 1 and push. Knees down, downward dog. The center of our body is the pelvis, so we're really focusing on keeping the center centered. Beautiful. Come on back down to knees. Second round, we're going to try to imagine we're still sitting in those sits bones. We're going to take that right leg up, dip it behind the other knee. See if we can keep those sits bones level. Knees touch and push. Dip behind, knees touch and push. Dip, knees, 3. Dip, knees, 2. Dip, knees, 1. Beautiful. Curl those toes under. Either go to downward dog or come into broken toe pose. You can roll out those wrists again if you want to. 2 more big breaths. Try not to use your hands at all, just lifting yourself up. Go ahead and grab your strap. Step the foot forward, curl those back toes under. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, that's what we're doing. So now we're going to take the strap. We're going to find the middle again. And we're going to step on it. We want to make sure that we are even between the strap. So we want to feel like our hands are the same length down. So our nervous system is always aware when we're faking it, right? And we're talking about authenticity today. So let's do it, all right? So you're stepping on the strap, you're still in your mountain pose, and you're feeling even between the way you're holding the strap, okay? There's an even leg on either side. So really do take the time to do that, okay? Now, the same way we were pushing the sits bones into the strap, now we want to feel that we're pushing the heels into the strap. Okay, we want to feel this resonance with our alignment. So head sitting on top, posterior tilt in the pelvis, front hip crest is moving back, pubic bone is lifted. We're not clenching the glutes, but they are lifted in tone. Head is sitting right on top. Face and neck are soft, and you've got your smile, right? Right? You've got your smile. The horizon has my smile. Mountain pose has my smile. Stepping on a strap has my smile. We want to be lifted here, linking up. Let's go 5 more breaths. Push those heels against the strap. Feel that action. Two. Okay, very nice. Let's take that strap away. We have our wall or we have our chair. Okay. So hands on our hips, feet are hip distance apart. We know about our mountain. We've got our nice strong mountain here. You want to be 1 leg away from your object, your stool, your chair, or the wall. So double check how far away you are. Okay. Now we want to keep this idea that we are sitting evenly on the strap. We want to feel that we are evenly pressing on the heels. So we want the body, the skeleton, to be lined up, even though we're asking it to do things that are out of the line, okay? So really feeling that sense. Hands on your hips. We're going to shift the weight to the right foot. Toes are looking forward, knees are looking forward. And we're going to lift up this left leg and place the foot on the wall or the chair. Now, both sits bones are even. So a lot of us, look here for me in a minute. You see how I'm turning my hip? Most of us do that. So you want to keep it nice and dropping those sits bones, leveling that pelvis. Double check if you're out of alignment there. You got 3 more deep breaths. Also notice that the other heel is right underneath your toes. You're keeping your integrity here. 3. And 2, keep dropping that left sits bone. Notice if you're hiking it up. And do know that it's going to get harder each time, so master the level we're on instead of trying to get further. All right, take it off and reset. Shake it out. Do some sort of cool, funky movement here. Woo! All right, switching sides. Square it up. Right hip is dropping, left hip is lifting. Imagine you're still sitting on that strap and you're pushing down evenly. You're stepping on the strap on the heel, pushing down. There's a heel on this right foot too, pushing down, keeping yourself plugged in. You're setting your tone. You're setting your tone. If these are the rules, then the rest can be free. These are the rules. This is the swing. 5 breaths. Beautiful, strong, powerful leg. Take it up, boom, boom. Keep that sits bone active and reset. We're going to do it again. Some of you don't need the chair. You're going to challenge yourself to do it in the air, Hasta Padangusthasana prep. So you're going to do it with or without the chair. So switching sides again. Find the heels pressing onto the strap, the sits bones pressing onto the strap. Take your left leg up. Some of you can hook that foot forward. Some of you will still use the chair. Drop those hips. Feel level here through the pelvis. Deep breaths. Good. And reset. Second round. Hasta Padangusthasana. Challenge yourself to sit on both sits bones. Level it out. Or you're in the chair if that feels like you have more integrity. Memorize what you feel here. Memorize these rules, right? These boundaries. 2, and up we go. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take our chair off. Keep the front 2 rungs on the chair in case we need it. And we're going to turn around. Here we go. Big inhale. Lift it up. And exhale. Forward fold. Inhale. Big halfway up. Flat back. Exhale. Step it back to downward dog. Anybody who wants to go through a vinyasa here, feel free. And feel that alignment. Now, if you have a wall space behind you, then you'll use your wall space. If you have the chair, we're going to do it upside down, or you're going to take the leg all the way up, so like a half splits up the wall. Now, here it's getting more challenging. You can feel how it's getting more challenging to keep that sits bones level, right? I can turn my torso, but then I'm torquing. So how do I keep myself pushing my heels into the imaginary strap and my sits bones level?
Foot is on the chair or foot is up the wall, or you're just playing here in the splits. Knees can be bent for sure. 4. 7. And 8. Good. Bring your knees down and pause.
Sit down on your heels, right? So in order for us to do our most impressive splits there that we just did, we turn the pelvis. But to keep our integrity, to keep our authentic, safe and genuine showing up for this pose, we're going to do less and keep the integrity of the pelvis, okay? Second round. So notice the sits bones. I'm pushing both of my sits bones even. I'm not turning at all. Okay, here we go. Downward dog.
Chair. Pushing my heels against the imaginary strap. Lining up my sits bones. I'm not stacking one hip more than the other, or half splits on the wall. And I'm doing this with my sits bones. I'm focusing on my pelvic bowl. My navel is pointing down. My knee is pointing down. It's okay to bend the knees. We're keeping our integrity here. 8. 7. Pressing through those thumbs. Notice your breathing. Remember your mantra. 5. 4. 3. 2. And beautiful. Bring those knees down and Vajrasana, pause.
Okay, very nice. Come on up. Boop, 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 boop. Turning around. Okay, so we are obviously, maybe not obvious, we are moving into Hanyamasana, which is a splits, right? What I love about this pose, the story behind it is being chased. You're jumping from one mountain ledge to another mountain ledge, trying to get away. So you're leaving the past. You're launching to the future. You don't know what's going to be there, but you know you have to leave the past. And the splits is that moment of jump, right? That moment of jumping, that present moment. You don't know what's coming, and you are in the here. So the more we can find that integrity, the more we can pull ourselves to that next level, the more freeing and joyful it will be over there. Okay, hopefully. So the way I want to play with it on this first round is we're going to not need our chair anymore. You may want the chair if you don't have 3 blocks. So you decide about that. And then we're going to take our blanket right to the edge where it's not on the mat at all. If you've been in class with me, you know what's coming. Okay, so you've got this slippery slidey. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just check in on a lunge. Okay, so this is the beginning of the lunge. Now, especially if you were one of those people who did splits in high school, you probably practice torquing the hips in order to get the splits. So today's session, remember, is about keeping the pelvis nice and level. So here we go. We're going to step the left leg forward. Okay, so feeling that left leg stepping forward. Spreading those back toes. Keeping this line. Now watch this. Look here for a moment. See how I'm torquing? That's what we are not doing. If I have that strap down here again, just watch for a moment. If I have my strap,
That means I have to shift myself, dropping my right side and lifting my left. So that's the work here. It's not going to be perfect, obviously. Okay, so how do I drop the drop the left and lift the right? That might need to come out a little bit. So that's what we're feeling. We're opening up the hip flexor here, and 5 deep breaths. The past we know. A lot of people will say that the future we know, because if we do what we did in the past, the future will look very similar. So the true unknown is the moment, is this moment here. This is when things change. This is when we show up differently, and then that next mountaintop's going to look different. So the transformation happens in the moment, in the present. So 8 more breaths here. Just dig in to lining yourself up, putting your rhythm resonating with the way you want it to show up. The mystery of this unknown. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly push back. And now we're going to put our right heel on the blanket here. Okay. And this is when the 3 blocks will come in handy, or you can be holding onto your chair. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our very best to keep this integrity in the sits bones, right? And you can start to place your blocks underneath whatever you need to do in order for you to feel like you're getting that integrity. Okay, so full splits. You're jumping from the past, the way you used to do things, to the future. Keep dropping that left hip, keep lifting the right. We're going to go 8 breaths here. Feel the sits bones pressing against that imaginary strap. And if this is bothering your knees, you can lay on your back and do this in the air, or go to the down dog with the leg up the wall or the chair. You want to quit, you want to cheat, you want to do all those things. That's the way you're resonating. That's what shows up for you. So if you want things to look different, you have to change the way you show up. There's the saying, if you want the things to look at, if you change the way you look at things, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. If you change the way you're showing up, the things that you show up will change. 4 more breaths. Beautiful. And scoop that back. Take a moment to come out and woo-wee doggies. Check and see how you're doing. Come back to Samavriti. Come back to swing. I go up. I come back. I go up. I go back. This is my rhythm. I go up. I go back. And then the world around me swings with pushing on the swing, and it's not making me go faster. It's not making me go slower. It's syncing up, just like a pitch and a wine glass, sinking up, right? Sinking up, nice and smooth. All right, let's go to the second side, please. Take your right leg forward. We're in our lunge. We're double checking how we line up that back foot. And again, it's so easy for me to pull this right hip up and put a little bit of a diagonal line here. I want to keep my resonating quality lined up with integrity. So I'm going to do less, and I'm going to drop my right hip crest and lift my left, which means that I have to come out of the pose a little bit. What does it mean for you? I have to reactivate my right side. What do you have to do? Push those sits bones into that strap. One more deep breath. So good. And then scoochy, scoochy. Put that heel on the blanket. And if you don't have three blocks, maybe you're going to hold on to a chair. And we're going to slide it away. See how I'm already going offline? You see how my right sits bone is dragging forward, so it's no longer in the back. So I have to make my adjustment. I have to almost pull my heel back, my right heel back, to keep this integrity. So even if you can go down further, which I know many of you can, it's not about going down. It's about keeping the integrity of this pelvis. Now, here it is. You're jumping from the past, the way you've always done things. You know how it turned out. You don't know what's coming forward, but you don't know what's at this next mountaintop, but you can anticipate that if you do the same things that you did in the past, it's going to happen again. So here's the moment of transformation. This is the probing of the mystery. This is where you do the work. You change in the air. And then when you get to the future, things show up different. Here we go. 12 breaths. Drop that right sits bone. Lift that left sits bone. Keep it level. Three more breaths. So deep, such deep work. And when you are ready, slowly pull it back, and sit down. Pause. Beautiful. Really nice work. Let's do some opening on the neck here. Come into your hands and knees. And eye of the needle, we're going to take that left arm up, thread it through, keep those sits bones lined up. Same thing here, even though we're twisting. We want the sits bones to line up. Some of you can interlace your fingers and pull. Keep that line. Let the head or the shoulders shrug. Beautiful. When you're ready to come on out, come on out. And then we'll switch. Again, line up those sits bones. Push them both evenly towards the strap. One more big breath. And then come on back up. And we're going to walk our feet forward and come to sitting down on our bottom and then making our way to our backs, please. Keep your right foot on the floor. Notice the sits bones again. Bring your left knee into the chest and maybe extend out. So you're still trying to find that same alignment. You could take the heel to the sky. Just relax the back. Beautiful. Switcheroo. Wonderful. And bringing both knees to bend. Sliding your hands underneath your head. Walk your shoulder blades and your tailbone away from one another. And we'll just take a big inhale. Exhale, just lift and hover here. Just feel yourself giving away, stretching out. Head is relaxed, belly is engaged. Breathing very deeply into the back. And exhale, come on down. Shatara Parivartanasana. We'll slide our hips to the left and we'll drop our knees to the right. So here again, we want to find this level pelvis. So we want to have our hips level. What happens when you bring that top knee a little further? How do you feel that integrity? So that top left knee moving a little further than the right, and this top left hip crest pulling away to keep that level pelvis here. You could toss the left arm up and over the head. Just breathe. Push and surrender at the same time. Find your swing, find your rhythm.
And as we stay here for another couple breaths, what's your emotion now? So I like to think of the emotions as the thoughts that we think in motion. So come on back up. So feelings are caused by thoughts. So a thought in motion is an emotion. Take your right leg over. You're switching your hips over to the right. You're twisting your legs to the left. You're going to take that right knee a little bit further, and you're going to push the right hip away. Again, maybe tossing that left arm up and over the head. 8 breaths. What do you feel right now? One more deep breath. And then bringing your knees back to center. And then bringing both knees into the chest. Maybe even holding the feet. Maybe taking the legs to the sky. So in that Dandasana pose that we started with basically, except we're on our backs now. Relax the back muscles. Relax the breathing. And slowly starting to make your way to your final pose. Anything else you want to do, feel free to find your way there now. All right, slowing down, coming into a position that you can really feel yourself vibrating. So if we were to ping a wine glass, ding, and then it would vibrate, you are vibrating as well. So just let yourself feel the hum, and maybe even hum. Starting at the very top of your register. Feel yourself, feel you, feel you, feel your signature. Feel what we feel when we're around you. And if you are thinking things that are not helpful or kind or positive, that's the past way of doing things. And if you continue to do that, you know what the future holds. But this moment has never come before. You can learn a new way right this second. Now this second, and this second,
and this second. Just transforming. Feel your signature. Feel yourself. So as we finish up our class today, bring your mind's attention to your heart chakra, your heart center, this beautiful, vibrant green color. Not only the place of love, but divine love. I am love. I don't just feel love, that's what I am. See if you can sync up and resonate with that. Enjoy this last swim here by yourself. It's a beautiful swim. And as always, may this work be of benefit for you. Thank you so much for keeping your light on. Thank you so much for sharing your resonance with us. We so appreciate it. Deep bows to you all. And namaste. Stay for about 40 breaths. Really soak. All right.